Hello everyone and welcome. Thank you so much. Hello to my new friends that have connected with me recently. It's just been amazing coming back on Facebook and connecting with so many of you again. It's so good to be back. So thank you so much again to everyone that has welcomed me back. All my new friends and new connections as well, and I can't wait to talk about this topic with you today. And if you are watching this on the replay, let me know in comments that you're here, and I'd love to know, as this is public, where in the world you are joining me from. Let me know in comments. So I'm joining you here from the east of the UK in Suffolk today, and I live by the sea, which I absolutely love, and that's something that's been in my vision for a while. And I actually moved to the sea within 2 years from having my vision of it being in 5 years. And all of the stuff I'm going to talk to you about today is how I achieved that vision, how I quantum leapt into that version of me that lived by the sea with her soulmate, with their animals, which was my vision for like 5 to 10 years time, and I actually achieved that in 2. And this all comes back to being a quantum leader. So this live for you today is for you if you are someone who knows that you are made for more. You're here to be a leader of the new paradigm. You've always felt a bit weird or different, perhaps as a child. You felt different. You might have been bullied. I know certainly I was bullied on my journey because I was a little bit different from the other kids and the stuff that I wanted to do. And I had some really intuitive, innate gifts that were kind of coming out at that time. And I felt like there must be something wrong with me. There must be something wrong with me. So yeah, this is for you. If you've always felt like there was more and you felt like there was more to life. And I talked about this in my last video, actually, that resonance with Belle from Beauty and the Beast, when she used to run up the hills and saying there must be more to this provincial life. So I think for a lot of us, you felt that there was more to life, and there absolutely is. And the reason that you feel, if you're watching this, the reason that you feel weird and different is because you've got incredible gifts that need to be used here on this planet, and you're here to walk the path that no one else has walked before. And those are my friends, those who I'm connected with, like, we're all on this journey together. We're all part of this soul tribe, this collective that is walking the new path. And by stepping into this space of the quantum leader, this is how we shift the planet. So, as you all know, we're in a new paradigm. The world has shifted, the world has changed, the world is changing. And we are all here to be paid for our sensitive gifts and to use our sensitivities to create a revolution or create a rebellion, if you like. We're here to show the rest of the planet the way to go. So we're here to walk that path, and you can think about this as like a pathway through the woods. The first time we go a little bit off piste and we walk through that path, it might be there might be some weeds and some twigs and some branches that we have to push down, and it feels a bit clunky and a bit difficult, and we might start to question if we're doing it right, but we know we just need to keep going. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to walk that path so that others can follow. And this is what being a leader of the new paradigm is about. And this is how we can turn our sensitivities into superpowers, and we actually get paid for our sensitivities. This is something that it took me a while to get to. It took me a while to believe this. But I actually have, like, within my gene keys, I actually have the gene key, which is the route to my abundance, is through my sensitivities. And I always saw my sensitivities as a burden, and I'm too sensitive for this. We get told as a child, don't be so sensitive, so emotional, all of those things, but they were incredible gifts for me, and I now get paid for my sensitivities. And I even did this for you today with this live session today. as you know, some of you know, I now do quantum healing, and I do that alongside the coaching, alongside the programs, and all the incredible ways that I blend together all of my skills and all of my sensitive gifts. I actually used some of that quantum healing on this session this morning to neutralize any energy from this session. So anyone coming along to this, you will also receive that neutralization energy to clear and align anything back to source as a result of watching this video. So I get paid to use my sensitive gifts. It is a big part of my abundance, and I know if you are watching this, there will be your own unique money blueprint that is aligned to you. And we are all here as completely different people, and we all have our own blueprint to how we receive money, the work that we need to do to get us into alignment, and that will be different for every person watching this. So what's true for you won't be true for me, and vice versa, but we're all here to walk that path of the sensitive leader. But the way that we will do that, and the way that we will achieve that, and the way that we will become that quantum leader, you know, the titles of our TEDx's, they're all going to be different, but we're all leading the way in this new energy of the new paradigm in our own individual, unique way. So when so just rewind back to 2017 for a moment, and I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. I had to bring my tea. I have to have, I don't know what this is. I think I've turned Italian. I have got Greek blood. I think I've turned a little bit Italian in my in my calls this week. I've noticed myself doing this. Perhaps it's energy, I don't know. Yes, so let's rewind back to 2017. So much has shifted since then. My whole life, my whole entire life has completely uprooted since then. So rewind back to 2017, and I had trained in mindfulness teacher training, and I'd done all of these other various things. So I was getting my ICF coach qualification at the time. I was a strengths practitioner, and I had all my intuitive gifts, but I was very much in the closet. Like, I was in all the closets at this time, not just the sexual closet, but also the spiritual closet. All the closets I was in 2017. And all I was doing in 2017, morning Michelle, thanks for joining. All I was doing in 2017 was selling my mindfulness courses, and I didn't know any different. And this is same for a lot of my clients that don't know any different. They've done this training and they think, oh, I've done this training, I'm just going to go out and sell that training. So I was just churning out mindfulness courses, and this became a bit of a pattern for me. Hey there, thanks for joining. Lovely to have you all here. So I was, just churning out these mindfulness courses because I didn't know any different. I was like, well, they're my qualifications, so I just take my qualifications and I make that my business. And what I didn't realise was that I was doing a massive disservice to the world by doing that. And we don't know any different, but actually what our clients need, hey Lisa, thanks for joining, what our clients need is our unique gifts, our unique strengths, and that comes into our money blueprint, because our soul clients are willing to pay us whatever we want them to pay us for our services if they are in alignment. So for example, my first kind of glimmer into this world, and this also comes into the quantum space and doing a TEDx, which I'm going to talk about. My first glimmer of this was when I realised about my sensitivities, and I started to interview other HSPs and talk about how being HSP was a gift, how it was holding them back. And I started to connect with this whole new community. And a lot of these women came to me and said, oh my gosh, you can help me because you see me, you hear me, you get me on that level. And you can help me with this. And then I suddenly had all these incredible sensitive business owners come to me and say, from doing this work, can you help me? How do I align my business to my sensitivities? How do I do a TEDx? I've seen you get up on that stage and do a TEDx, Gemma, but I can see that you're really highly sensitive and you're at the top of the sensitivity scale. You're an introvert. Like, how did you do that? So all these people naturally started to come to me and ask me those things. And if I'd have just followed the standard path, which I was never going to do, let me know in comments if you're also a bit of a rebel on a bit of a revelation with this work. I was actually never going to do that anyway. That was never part of my soul plan. I just didn't know it at the time because I've always been a little bit of a rebel, especially after studying positive psychology and being like, oh my gosh, like this stuff is going to change the world. And it really is right now. So yeah, I think you're right, Michelle. Going through challenges and overcoming fear helps so much. Yes, and those challenges, and especially, yes, Michelle's a rebel, and the work that you do, Michelle, as well, the challenges that you've been through, you can help support people because you've been through those challenges as well. And that's part of your money blueprint, is those challenges that you've been through. And you can now shortcut that process for your clients because you've been through it, you've had those lessons, had that journey, and you can now help others with that greater knowledge and understanding. So another part of our money blueprint is, and I'd really like you to reflect on this and let me know in comments, what have you been through? What have been your struggles? What have been your pain? You know, if you could go back to that version of you, maybe 5 years ago, 3 years ago, like what advice would you give them? And that is what your client needs. I'm doing this again. If anyone knows why I'm doing this, let me know. So that all links together. Just checking my notes for what I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, so because I can kind of go off on a tangent. So yes, it's all about being that rebel and being of service to the world. And when I launched my first program, Shine Academy, my second program, Quantum Alignment, it was the same for this. There were people there ready to pay me for that because that is what they needed. They desperately wanted to get into alignment. And like, as soon as I put them out there, people bought them. So it's, yeah, this money blueprint for you is your unique gifts, what you've been through. Yes, Lisa, thinking you needed to train. Yeah, because we do this, don't we? We collect I'm a collection of qualifications, I will admit that. So it's like qualification, up my coaching skills even more. Now I'm going to go and do this energy training. Now I'm going to go and do this. Yeah, if we're not careful, we can collect a lot of qualifications. Whereas we already know a lot of this stuff, and it doesn't mean that we're not, you know, it's not linked to our worthiness in any way. We don't need to collect. I mean, I love learning, so I do it for the love of learning. We also don't need to collect qualifications and for that to mean anything about our worthiness as well. Michelle, you kick cancer's ass. Woo-woo. Yes, and you're campaigning too. That's absolutely amazing. Look at the work that you're doing in the world. Let's just give Michelle a little round of applause. That is amazing. Yeah, so you're, from what you've been through, you're then able to, you're literally saving lives, Michelle. That has just given me tingles. That is amazing. And this comes on to, as well, as part of being this quantum leader of the new paradigm, it's a responsibility. There's a responsibility part to this, which sounds like a bit of a scary word, but it's actually very exciting. If we want, you know, if we're going to be paid for our sensitive gifts, then we have a responsibility for following that path firstly. So I just want to give an example here of one of my clients. I posted about her yesterday. She was a yoga teacher, and she's amazing. She was going out and doing, because again, she didn't know any different. She did her yoga teacher training, and she thought, okay, I'll just go out and teach my yoga classes. This is something that we all get into, this pattern of, okay, I've learnt this thing, I'm going to go do this thing. But actually it's about all of us. It's about our whole unique, authentic selves as that quantum leader, leading the way, and holding space for others to lead the way as well. I was actually having a conversation with Laura Bird yesterday. We were doing a podcast together. I cannot wait for this podcast to come out. Laura is a real leader in the divine feminine space, and how we can be in our feminine and hold space, and allow that masculine side of us to come in. And we were just having this conversation And we both channeled this yesterday, which I won't give it all away because you're going to love the podcast. It was the most, like, one of the most expansive podcasts. It was like, hang on, there's a responsibility here to be in our feminine. There's a real responsibility in holding space, in that feminine space of, like, not having to do anything, not having to be constantly taking action or be with a client and giving them anything, but just holding space for them and, like, really just being in our essence. That is so divinely feminine and the planet needs right now. So back to my client, what she started doing was just simply listening to her body and going, is this a hell yes or is this a no? If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And this is a journey I've been on myself as well. And she decided to set up her yoga classes at her house instead, in her beautiful garden, beautiful space. And through using the quantum tools and us working together, she has quantum leapt, and she's gone from running yoga classes in her local village hall to running a retreat centre from her house, having her own yoga studio in the garden, and having other yoga teachers come and hire out that studio. And she's created another stream of income with an Airbnb, and she's just doing absolutely amazing by just following what is lighting her up. So that is so important for us. Firstly, like, taking responsibility for your energy and only doing what lights you up. So let me know in comments, what lights you up? Like, what really lights you up? For me, it's coaching, it's doing my quantum healing, holding space for clients and just seeing them quantum leap. Like, I just can't, like, yeah, it just really lights me up. So I've made sort of that vow to myself that I'm only going to do what lights me up. Anything else is a no. My tea's getting cold. Teas are always a hell yes for me. Let me know who else is, like, fussy about their tea. I have to have it in a china mug. In fact, if I wanted, which of course I could do, I'd have a full-on tea set here with a teapot and everything. Okay, and then the second responsibility that we need to take as quantum leaders, which is also part of how I did my TEDx. I did not know this at the time because I didn't have that layer of understanding about the energy, but this was what I did, is energy clearing. Energy clearing, energy clearing, energy clearing. So if you haven't already had a quantum clearing with me, I know some of you watching have, please ask me about those. They're going to be in the next round of quantum alignment. You're going to get those included because some energies need to be named to be cleared. And this is so important for us as leaders of the new paradigm, is when we're stepping into this powerful space, it's having that awareness that everything is energy. You know, even physical illnesses start with energy, and that some energies, there is dark and there is light. And this is part of being a quantum leader, is that we step fully into that space and we own that dark and that light, both within us and with having that awareness of what is out there and what we do and don't engage with, and clearing our energy. So there's no drama about this either. So last year I went in a slight drama spin, because I was having to deal with a lot of dark energy last year, and I was really like, oh my gosh, like, really sort of, I saw myself go into that drama space with it. And then, like, now I've kind of stepped in, I've brought the quantum healing in, which is clearing that energy, and I'm doing clearings on myself now all the time, and it's just like, all right, I can clear it now. So being a quantum leader is about taking that responsibility for clearing our energy, and we step fully into that space. And when we step into that space, we step into that leader. So we're not in denial that actually when we awaken, there's a lot of dark and there's a lot of clearing that we need to do. It's not about ascension and opening more, it's about clearing so we can be a clear channel. I cannot say that enough. And this is what being that quantum leader is about. Lisa, you love holding space for women in circle, creating ceremony and one-to-one healing using your intuition. Yes, amazing. You are so amazing at that, Lisa. And thank you so much, Lisa, for your feedback and comments. I've loved working with you too. Yeah, I know you loved the clearing session, didn't you? Had a massive shift. So thank you so much for sharing that, Lisa. Love that. Yeah, so we do need to take responsibility. for clearing our energy. And I didn't realise this at the time. When I was invited to speak at TEDx, I knew I had to do something different. I knew that there had to be a different way of doing this. So I'd come from, I came from a 15-year corporate career in financial services where the energy was very masculine. It was very masculine. It was very pushy. I used to think, oh, maybe if I used to live near the city and I used to walk to work in the mornings, and I used to think maybe if I leave the house a little bit earlier today, and I could just like rush to work a little bit earlier today, get to my desk a little bit earlier today, I might just get a little bit more done today. And it was constantly, I was on this constant hamster wheel. And it was really TEDx that kind of did that for me. It was like, hang on, right, being up on that stage, 23,000 people, this needs to be different now. I can't sustain this, especially as, a sensitive leader and walking this way for others. I can't be in this pushy, hustle and be up on that stage in my highest truth and vibration and speak what it is that I need to speak on the stage. So it was really TEDx for me, was that turning point of like, there has to be a different way of doing this. So the way that I got up on that stage was through clearing my energy, and the way that I structured my day around TEDx. So I brought some masculine energy in around the boundaries, how I was going to be on the day, what I was going to do. So for example, I sat in the car and meditated a lot of the day because I wasn't on until the end of the day. I went for a walk. I went and got a salad at lunchtime. They put on some food, which is lovely, but it was like a lot of bread and stuff. And I thought, if I'm going to be on at 4, I need to do this slightly differently. So I created those masculine structures. I told some of the other speakers, I'm not going to be able to watch your talk. I will watch it on YouTube afterwards, but I'm here, I'm supporting you. So I set those masculine structures in place, which allowed me to just be in flow and listen to my body, eat what I needed, move my body on the day, meditate on the day. And then everyone thought at TEDx that I was crazy because there was this meal put on for us afterwards, and there were celebrities there because some of the people who'd been invited to speak at TEDx were celebrities, and they were like, you're going to miss out on this meal, like this networking opportunity to like meet all these celebrities. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. If you want me up on that stage, I'm not going to the networking meal. I need to be on the sofa. I need to rest and I need to recharge. And I was very, very strict with my work around that time as well, and making sure that I was working from home, and that my energy wasn't going in different directions. I wasn't giving my energy away, but kind of bringing that in, pulling that energy in back towards myself to get me up onto that stage. And this is what being a quantum leader is all about. It is all about that recognition of feminine leadership, which is sometimes just holding that space. It can be so powerful to just hold space and just be, and we're just in our power. So yesterday, as I shared, I was doing that podcast with Laura Bird yesterday, and just before the podcast, I realised the potency of what we were saying and what we were going to say, what we were going to talk about, and the impact that was going to have on the women listening. So I just and this is something that we do in quantum alignment. Lisa, you would have experienced this, and this is like a little tip for you all as well. I just expanded that energy out. I just expanded my energy out, and imagined that podcast just going out and helping all the women that needed to hear that. And then we both moved into the podcast in that space. So we didn't do anything differently. But it was a way of being and a way of expansiveness and a way of setting those intentions, and working in the quantum field. That was like a 10-second quantum field practice. It was like, right, we went into the quantum and we expanded that out. So energetically, we could reach more women. We could help more women. Hey, Jill, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. So this is what being a quantum leader is about. This is how I did my TEDx, and this is how you can align to your money blueprint. It's about, firstly, being yourself, being your most authentic, expressed version of you, You know, not just churning out your qualification into a paid thing, but creating something really magical, which Jill, as you've joined at this moment, you also do so magically with Soul Avatar. Like, that is exactly like authentically unique Jill, which is amazing. And yeah, secondly, energy clearing. So those who weren't here at the start, I used my quantum kit and actually neutralized this live today. So this will have a neutralization on any energy, clearing any energy from doing this. And this is something I've been quite torn with speaking about as well, but this is, you know, this is part of that responsibility as a quantum leader, that when we step into this place and we have this awareness that there is light and dark, that we do need to clear our energy, is also having that broader awareness of what is going on in the world, what is actually happening in the world, especially this week. That's all I'm going to say. There is some stuff obviously going on this week. Thank you, Jill. You're awesome and magical too. I love that. So magical. Yeah, so we do need to take responsibility and be like, okay, I'm going to be this quantum leader. How can I work with the energies? So for example, I was using my quantum healing kit on the energies this week to help shift the planet as well. So there's a responsibility piece, and I obviously don't get paid for that directly. I don't get paid for, like, directly for the energy work and the clearing work that I do in the quantum on a kind of global scale. But I've had such magic happen when I do that. So I've had my car fixed for free twice. Crazy. Like one of the occasions the system went down, and he said, I'm really sorry, like, I can't charge you because the system's gone down, don't worry about it. Another one, it was like I had a tiny crack in my exhaust pipe, and I was chatting to the guy who owned the garage, and I helped him with a couple of things that he had going on for him, almost like a mini coaching session really. And he said, don't worry about your car, you've helped me, it only took me a few minutes to fix, so don't worry about paying me. So twice I had my car fixed for free. And yeah, it's things like that, it's gifts like that. I won a couple of years ago now, I won a raffle at my hairdresser's, and in the raffle I won a free shampoo and conditioner, like really lovely shampoo and conditioner at my hairdresser's. So we receive these gifts in unexpected ways, but we are still paid for our gifts. So even though I'm not directly paid for doing that work, I am, and it comes in other ways, which I just think is so amazing and wonderful. So not only is it a responsibility for us to have this awareness of dark and light and where we put our energy, have boundaries, clear energy, really understand how energy works in the quantum as well. Not actually, something else is coming in here that I need to share on this. It's making me wiggle my middle fingers now. All the hand stuff going on today. And that is, I don't know if anyone saw the video I did where I sort of said, okay, here's like the 3D. Yes, Jill, we sometimes overlook how we receive gifts. Absolutely. So this is like the 3D, this is like the 4D, this is the 5D, 6D, 7D, da da da, exactly, like, not exactly, I know I said exactly. So this is the 3D, and when we start to awaken, or maybe I should do this, we start to have this awareness of the other dimensions, and this is the quantum field, and the quantum field is not, it's not, okay, I've ascended now and I've gone to here, or I've then ascended and I've gone to here, I've gone to here, I've gone to here. It's we've gone to here, okay? We've gone to all of it. And I'm working with a client one-to-one at the moment, and without me telling her this, without literally just through me holding space for her, she's done this, okay? Now, how many of us start to awaken and only connect to certain energy trainings where we get attuned, I won't mention any of the names, or we say we're a medium and we only connect with spirit, or we're a witch and we only do XYZ, or we only work with the law of attraction, or we only does not exist, okay? Because as soon as we go in, and I was saying this to a medium the other day, As soon as you go in and you're connecting with spirit, you're not just connecting with spirit, you're connecting with everything. So you have to go in, and this is the responsibility of a quantum leader. You have to go in and have this awareness of everything, okay? It doesn't mean you need to go in and engage in the dark. You may need to do some clearing, but you're going in and you're everywhere. You are everywhere, okay? This is what the quantum field means. This is what working with energy means. You are everywhere. And yeah, working with this client, all I'm doing is holding space for her. And she had this awareness. She said to me, I've gone beyond all that. And actually, if I need to do a certain element of energy work, I need to kind of come down, but I've gone like right up. And that might not be everyone's journey. But I know if you're here watching this, you're ready to go quantum and be that quantum leader and be everywhere, okay? For some people, that might not be part of their journey. They just might need to sort of go here a little bit and get a little bit of information, come back. But if you are here to be paid for your sensitive gifts and be that quantum leader, which is it's been through all my experience of kind of failing and learning and testing all these different things, I have learned that if we're going in and we're going in the quantum, we have, we're going into all of it. So we need to have that awareness, and we need to clear. And then lastly, which is something I'm so passionate about, which is actually what I did speak about at TEDx, is positive psychology. So the last thing I want to mention here is that this is what got me on that stage. So hang on. Tea's getting quite cold, actually. I'm getting a bit carried away. So what got me on that stage, not only did I talk about positive psychology and mindfulness and some of the incredible things that happen through a result of that. For example, Sean Aker found that positive psychology increases sales in businesses by 26%. So if you're watching this and you haven't got positive psychology in your business, there's so many neuroscientific benefits, there's so many well-being benefits, there's so many quantum benefits. And on top of that, it impacts on the bottom line. Businesses that have positive psychology ingrained in them make more money. So if you haven't got positive psychology practices in your business already, come and speak to me about that, because there's some ways that you can set up your business around using some positive psychology structures, but also there are some things that you can teach to your clients, and we do this in quantum alignment as well, is actually upskill you to then teach those skills to your clients so that you can have that ripple effect on the world, which is just so exciting how positive psychology is shifting the planet right now. So this also comes full circle again back to what we were talking about in the start, which is your money blueprint, your unique gifts and what you're here to share in the world. Because when we focus on our gifts, when we focus on what lights us up and our strengths and what we're really good at, this starts to create positive emotion and neurotransmitters in the brain. So, neurotransmitters such as dopamine, serotonin, for example, if you haven't heard of those, I'm sure you have. It is indeed, Jill, just kind of this ripple effect. Like we actually, if we're happy, we affect 5 degrees of separation quite significantly in terms of our happiness. So let's say our neighbour's dog, as it barks, that's really strange. We are mums, hairdressers, sons, partner's cousin, okay? So so that's how we're kind of having that ripple effect on the planet. But it really, when we're using our unique gifts and we're completely aligned, not only can energy flow if we're completely aligned, I think of it like a train on the tracks. That's why we need to clear energy, because especially when we're sensitive, like there's stuff coming in that's not ours, and we just need to take responsibility, put those train back on the tracks, then we can totally flow in that leader space. We can be in that leader space, and we can have that, that powerful leadership, divine feminine energy. And that is how we get paid to be us. And positive psychology can really help us with that, because we're tapping into that positive emotion, which is just having all of these incredible shifts, and just like undoes that fight or flight mode in our brains, which a lot of the world is operating off fight or flight mode. and we're moving into a more nourishing space. We're moving into a divine feminine space. So if you are here and you are watching this, then this is just your reminder. You are a quantum leader of the new paradigm. That is why you are here, and it's not going to always feel easy at times, but you are here to walk the path for others. You are here to be in your energy, be in your gifts, be and hold space in this way to help others to awaken, help others to align, and ultimately shift the planet. So if this feels aligned for you, come and join us on Friday at the Shine Retreat, which is all about this. We're going to be doing quantum breath work, working directly with the quantum field to help you to align into that quantum space with yourself, release anything holding you back. Kate's going to be doing some trust and embodiment work, which is going to be so powerful. And then you get to ask me and Kate anything. So this is your chance. We're going to do some group coaching. So if there's anything that you want some support and coaching working through, bring this along. And you know, we're not going to force anyone to speak. You can also come along and just receive and just be in that space as well. So I would love to see you. It's going to be on Friday, 5th of the 5th. Super powerful day, super powerful energies just before the full moon as well. And you're going to have myself and Kate there holding you that space for you through the retreat on Friday. So if you can't make it live, there will be a replay. I'll pop the link in comments. If you sign up, you'll automatically receive a copy of the replay. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks so much.